What do the Pennsylvania mail ballots numbers tell us? Michael Snyder reports. November 5th is still about a week away, but more than 47 million Americans have already voted. Early voting has become quite prominent in states all over the country, and the numbers that we're getting so far appear to be quite promising for the Trump campaign. There have been rumors that the Harris campaign is starting to panic, but I think they have good reason to panic. Unless something dramatic happens over the next week, it's going to be very difficult for Harris to find a path to 270 electoral votes. Today I want to take a closer look at the all-important swing state of Pennsylvania. Without Pennsylvania, there's probably no possible way that Harris can win, and right now the numbers we're getting from the state do not look promising for her. In 2020, Joe Biden got 3,458,229 votes in Pennsylvania, and Donald Trump got 3,377,674. So Biden won the state by a margin of less than 100,000 votes. Unlike other states, in-person early voting is not happening in Pennsylvania. All of the early votes that are coming in are mail ballots, and Democrats tend to dominate mail voting all over the nation. But the numbers that we're getting from Pennsylvania in 2024 look much different from the numbers that we got from Pennsylvania in 2020. In 2020, a total of 3,087,524 mail ballots were requested, but in 2024, only 2,090,960 mail ballots have been requested, and the deadline for requesting one is almost here. So there will be close to 1 million fewer mail ballots that could potentially be sent in this time around. Needless to say, this is huge. In addition, the gap between Democrats and Republicans when it comes to mail voting in Pennsylvania has narrowed considerably this election cycle. In 2020, Democrats returned 1,702,484 mail ballots, and Republicans returned 623,404 mail ballots. So Democrats had built up a lead of more than 1 million votes in the state before Election Day even arrived. That absolutely gigantic lead proved to be too much, and Trump ultimately lost by a narrow margin. But things are very different here in 2024. According to the latest numbers, Democrats have returned 823,421 mail ballots, and Republicans have returned 443,935 mail ballots. Instead of the 1 million ballot lead they had last time, Democrats have only built a gap of less than 400,000 ballots so far. Everyone is projecting that Trump will run far stronger than Harris on the day of the election in Pennsylvania. And if Harris ultimately loses Pennsylvania, it's hard to see how she could pull together enough electoral votes to win the election. But there is still about a week to go until November 5th, and so much could still happen. Hopefully voting will go very smoothly all over the country, but already we're getting some very troubling reports. For example, on Monday, fires were reported at ballot boxes in Oregon and Washington. Federal authorities are investigating fires at 2 ballot boxes reported Monday morning in the Portland, Oregon area. Police responded to a call about a fire in Portland about 3:30 a.m. Monday, the Portland Police Bureau said in a statement. An incendiary device placed inside the box security personnel extinguished the fire, officials said. Federal officials are investigating the incident in Portland and a second fire in nearby Vancouver, Washington, with the help of state and local law enforcement agencies, said Steve Byrne, spokesperson for the FBI Seattle office. This should make all of us very angry. When someone tries to disrupt the voting process, they're committing a crime against all of us. At this point, police are telling us that the 2 incidents are connected, and they have identified a suspect vehicle. The police say 2 fires set ballot boxes in separate states, connected with just 8 days until Election Day, in what appeared to be a serious case of election interference. In Portland, Oregon, police have identified a suspect vehicle after a ballot box in the southeast part of the city was lit on fire early Monday morning, and hundreds of votes were destroyed. Hopefully, they'll catch whoever did this. In Colorado, nearly 30,000 previously cast votes getting a second look after a number of fraudulent ballots were caught by authorities. Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold announced Thursday during a press conference that over a dozen mailed ballots were intercepted and cast fraudulently before the actual voters even had a chance to receive them. This alarming situation has sparked a full-blown criminal investigation, and 3 of those fraudulent votes were counted before the tampering was caught. Colorado could be one of the big surprises November 5th. It had been considered to be a lock for the Democrats, but so far, Democrats have only built up a lead of about 3% in votes cast during the early voting period. Once we get to the night of the election, most of the nation will be breathlessly waiting the results. And when it's all over, one side is going to be experiencing very deep emotional pain. For as long as I've been warning that we will see extreme chaos in the aftermath of this election, and a newly released poll has discovered that most Americans believe that civil unrest is likely. Most Americans expect something happening after Election Day, but remain confident their vote will be counted accurately and are willing to accept the results of the presidential race, a new Scripps News Ipsos poll found. The survey of 1,000 Americans finds bipartisan concern over unrest after November 5th. Overall, 62% of respondents, including 70% of Democrats and 59% of Republicans, say that the events will be related to the election somewhat or very likely. And among respondents in the key battleground state of Wisconsin, which was also measured as part of the survey, concerns are higher at 72%. My hope is that once a winner is declared, the mainstream media, key celebrities, and our top political leaders will all urge Americans to be calm, but I could not count on that happening. I wouldn't count on that happening, he said. Instead, I think it's far more likely that about half the country will throw a temper tantrum, and that won't be good. That won't be good for any of us. This is by Michael Snyder on the Economic Collapse blog. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. About the author, Michael Snyder's new book, Why, is available on paperback and for Kindle on Amazon. He's also written 8 other books available on Amazon, including Chaos, End Times, 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecy of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters. When you purchase any of Michael's books, you help to support the work that he's doing. You can also get his articles by email as soon as he publishes them by subscribing to his Substack newsletter. Michael has published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and the Most Important News, and he always freely, happily allows others to republish those articles on their own websites. These are such troubled times and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, we strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.